Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Where do you stand?
Yeah, let me say, I've seen a statement that has been, that is attributable to a UFRE, that NPP elders plan courtesy visits to President Mahama to seek pardon for Wontumi. If this is true, and this coming from an MP, is quite disturbing. If this really came from a UFRE, a good friend of mine, then it is quite disturbing. Why do they want to create the impression that what is happening in the court of law is being manipulated by the president, or is being done to favor the president? Is this necessary? A member of parliament putting up this kind of information. So if tomorrow Wontumi is put behind bars, so to speak, it means it is President Mahama who did it. This is the kind of impression I want to create in this country, that will not allow the laws to work, will not allow the courts to work, such that if somebody has done something untoward against the state and the law is working, it should be said that perhaps the president's hands is in the case. You see, let's put things in perspective. This has nothing to do with things that Wontumi said at President Mahama. Why? When Wontumi allegedly was in the forest destroying things, where was President Mahama? So you see, I don't like it when people want to create that impression, and it shouldn't come from a member of parliament. You see, any country that has developed, even presidents are sentenced into prison. Sarkozy was he not sentenced into prison for 5 years? In this country, Venerable Chachuchi Kata didn't he go to prison? So what are we talking about? All of a sudden, you become a party member, a party executive, you have a case, you should be treated differently by the court. In fact, if Appiah Kubi's, one of his problems is that the judge is fast-tracking the case, I dare say that we need that kind of judges in this country. We need judges that will be fast-tracking cases, elite corruption cases, so that we can get results as quickly as possible. I'm so excited that this judge in particular is fast-tracking the case. I would plead with other judges to also fast-track cases. If you have a country where at the moment you have over 100 corruption-related cases running in our courts, when are you going to finish them if you are to delay the cases? So what is the argument? I read something that is attributable to him, Andy Appiah Kubi here. He said something, and I want to read it. I think paragraph 14 of something that is attributable to him. He said that I know the outcome of this case will not be the end of this matter, and I believe that justice will be better served on a better and more equitable platform with cooperating actors. I mean,
what does that mean?
What does that mean?
It's an attack on the judiciary.
Yes, this is a clear case of attack on the judiciary.
I quoted what I quoted.
Right, you said what? Cooperating with actors.
Yes.
And
if the judge is fast tracking the case, why would you say that the judge is not cooperating?
Let's take it one after the other. He says that I know that the outcome of this case will not be the end of this matter.
Yes.
I mean, that's a statement of fact in the sense that it can go on appeal.
Yes, let's go further. Let's go further.
Then he says that, and believe that justice will be better served on a better and more equitable platform.
On a better, which one is more better?
With more.
I mean,
that's where your problem is.
Yes, how can you say this?
That platform could be the court of appeal.
How can a lawyer say this? How can a lawyer say this?
The platform.
Why should these things be allowed in this country? When people still go, and they steal mobile phone, and we jail them 10 years, 15 years. We have people who plunder this state in millions. And when their case comes, they should be treated differently. Then what is the meaning of equality before the law in this country? So I'm excited that the judge is fast-tracking the case. I urge him to do that and urge other lawyers to also judges to do that. We have a country to build. We don't have political parties to build. We have a country called Ghana to build. And so some of these things, delay tactics, they can do whatever. The most important thing is that if he's not done anything against the law, he will walk free out there. But if he's done something against the state, the law must be allowed to take its natural course.
Natural course.
That's how we can build this nation. We are not here to pamper politicians at the expense of this country. Together, all of us are building this nation. People are behind bars. If you go to Nsawam, ask them what they did. They stole somebody's goods. They stole somebody's mobile phone. They are 7, 10 years, 8 years in prison. Do we have special human beings with special blood flowing in them?
Hey, why are you making it look like the guy is guilty?
No, I've not said so. I've not said so. I've already stated that if he's found to have not done anything against the state, the law will allow him to go.
Okay.
The law is not an answer web that catches you and doesn't want to leave you. If you are free, the law will let you go. If you are not free, let's have you, so that the state would also benefit from whatever we are doing.
Okay. There's a certain element, I'm coming to you now. There's a certain element to prosecution where people are more satisfied when people are jailed. And this is me talking as a layman. Because they will make the point that a certain perception is created that the rich in society can commit crimes and simply refund the money and go scot-free.
Yes, you know my position on this plea bargain thing. At a point, I even wanted to write to Parliament to reconsider that law. Because I don't think it is properly structured. And in its current form, I don't think it will help us to fight corruption successfully. You see, whether you like it or not, corruption is not a victimless crime. It always has what we call the opportunity cost to it. For instance, let me give you the Wontumi situation. He allegedly falsified information or documents to secure that amount of money. He said he was going to use the money for farming, right?
Yes.
So what it means is that if he had used the money for farming, would have increased our food production in the country. Some youth would have been employed, and food security too could have been enhanced. These three things I've mentioned, and pay taxes.
You assume.
So these are the opportunity costs to what has happened. Are you getting it?
Yes.
That is why there are always people who suffer when people steal from the state. That is what is called opportunity costs. You see, my position is this. Corruption is a very expensive venture for the state. Therefore, if you want to succeed in fighting it, you should make it expensive for people. People who engage in corruption should suffer and suffer well for doing what they did. It shouldn't be that somebody will steal, turn our country into a zero interest bank, steal from the country, and when the person is caught, the person just writes a check to the state and walks free. That should not be it. My position is that if we are going to allow plea bargaining for state plunderers, those who have been plundering the states, if we are going to allow plea bargaining for them, then the terms and the conditions of the plea bargain should be in our books. It shouldn't be the Attorney General to decide.
The what?
The terms and the conditions of the plea bargain should be stated in the books. For example, the person must be made to pay the whole amount with punitive interest. Are you getting the point?
Yeah.
And even after paying or after making this financial restitution You are only buying a reduced sentence, which means you are going to pay fully. You are going to also pay interest, punitive interest, and have a reduced sentence, not eliminated sentence. That is how we can make corruption expensive for people, so that when they are engaging it, they will be afraid to engage in. But if it's about just going to sit down, yes, I stole 100 million. I can write a check for you right now. Let me go scot-free. How are we going to succeed in fighting corruption with this kind of approach? So it should be very punitive, very tight, and non-negotiable. That's why I'm saying that it should not be left to the
Attorney General
to decide, so that there could be some. No, let's state it in the law that if you steal 10 cedis and you are caught, you pay the whole 10 cedis. You pay punitive interest, which is higher than the prevailing interest rate on the market interest rate. Yeah. Then after that, you get reduced sentence. So that if you ordinarily you're going to be given 20 years or 10 years, let's half it, or let's divide it by 3 and give you just.
If you check the consideration of sentence, you see what the Attorney General sends to the court is a recommendation. The court is not necessarily bound by it. So if you check the 162I, is it where the court accepts a plea agreement?
No, the point I'm making is that if it becomes a law in our books, the court will be bound to it. The court act on laws.
No, I'm saying that even at the end of the court still have discretion to make a decision on what you have submitted. So you can still pay the money.
No, but I mean, the point he makes is if we legislate to require that the agreement cannot be without the sentence being imposed, one, and secondly, a refund that goes beyond the amount involved plus interest. Which will mean that whatever agreement you'll be entering into, and even whatever conclusion the court will come to, cannot be outside these limits.
The domain of what the law provides.
The court has liberty to do all these things.
Yes, but he's talking about a change.
I'm saying that. I'm saying that we should.
So express.
No. I'm saying that we should restructure. We should restructure the law. It should be in the law.
I get you.
Like the specifics.
Yeah, specifics. So
I'll give you the final word. Mr. Danto Senior.
Before Chairman Wontumi and his lawyers put in the plea bargaining, he was innocent until proven guilty. He put in the plea bargaining, and as my both colleagues said, he puts in a guilty plea. That goes to show, when you look at the fences, he had intention to do this. There was an intention behind this. So when it comes to court, and I'm not the judge, I would want the judge to throw it out. He should throw it out, because his actions with intention has caused financial loss to the state. He should be punished and asked to pay all this money, not plea bargaining.
That's your massive. Are you saying they should go for trial or what?
They should go for trial. Because you know something? Exim must have done their homework. We would want to hear what Exim is saying about this, especially the pretense of the receipt. We want to hear.
Yeah.
It should go to trial.
Your Kumasi brother.
If it's frankly of Kumasi, the fact that he's my Kumasi brother is neither here nor there.
Is it that he's acquitted or convicted?
Yeah, so let's go.
Okay.
Let's go to court.
I mean, but if at this stage he wants to negotiate.
Let's go to court.
He knows what.
He knows what he's done. And I'm saying the judge should reject it.
But on the flip side, though, it could be possible that he just feels that there are too many cases.
Yeah. He doesn't want to express here.
Nobody will do that. If I'm not taking money, you say because of stress, I'm
on the floor. As I said, the law is in the bosom of the judge. It's not in the bosom of anybody, any lawyer. It is up to the judge to say, I'm accepting or I'm not accepting your plea bargaining. But I know the people of Ghana would want to see a trial. If it so happens that he is acquitted, most good to him. But if he isn't and he's found guilty, he goes in like anybody who has stolen a goat and put in prison. He goes in like anybody who has stolen a head and put in prison for 10 years. And he will have to pay the money, because what he did will be proven that he did with intent.
Okay.
He had a reason. You don't have a farm. Why are you going for this kind of money?
Ghost farm.
Why are you going for this kind of
Ghost
money?
farm. We have ghost
and you
names,
see the
ghost
challenge,
farms, NPP,
and I agree with Kwesi, where he says the law comes first. What is right comes first. Politicians shouldn't be allowed to hide behind plea bargaining. They shouldn't.
Okay.
It shouldn't be an escape.
I'm seeing something interesting here. I'm just reading.
No, just
And as Ebo said, we should look to enshrine some of these things in the law, so that it is clear and easy for everybody to understand.
Just briefly for me.
He said the 162I, the subsection 6, the paragraph 6, he said, where the court is dissatisfied with the sentence recommended in the plea agreement, the court may advise the parties to renegotiate the plea agreement. So you come to the court to say, no, even though I'm taking the money, I still want to give him 2 years or 3 years. So go back and do it again. So the court can reject it.
If you go further down, the entire agreement can be rejected totally by the court, and the court will just have to state its reasons.
Exactly.
You cannot appeal the decision of the court if the court rejects it. There's no form of appeal allowed.
You take the intention to steal
No,
money.
this is,
But imagine that if there was no change of government, all this loot.
would have been covered.
Nyafu.
It's only
You, your children, my children, and his children will get up and say that we didn't.
No.
I should be allowed to respond.
Will you be giving time?
It is Wontumi
Interestingly, this and Akufo-Addo, for the first time, you've had ghost names. Ghost
said that
farms.
already.
Ghost
You
farms.
said that already. Yes, 30 seconds.
Ghost what again?
No, he said that already.
30 seconds.
Ghost what again?
30 seconds. Respectfully,
Yes,
I'm impressed that even as at now that the court has not made a judgment, you've assumed Wontumi is guilty.
No. We are holding people accountable.
And you are even taking credit as a government, except that principles should not be seasonal. When you came, there were pending cases that you didn't file even only prosecutors.
Those were political trials.
Respectfully, you filed withdrawals of them.
Right.
So on the same standard, the same standard should be set.
Okay, so that's
You don't go from money from Wontumi. You don't go from money from Wontumi.
Thank you so much for joining us at this segment
You don't
of
leave
the
people
show.
and
We
go
still
and chase other
have
money.
more coming up. A big interview is
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.